Hello, in this episode I'm going to teach you how to use Power Query to work with your LMS reports. First, let's have a look at the raw report straight from LMS. So you can see here it has a student ID, a course name, completion date and status. What's important, there is a single course, but it has different language versions. So you can see here for different countries, for different audiences, there are different versions, which is kind of common among bigger companies. So I'll just close that and go to the main folder. So you can see I structure the data that I have a folder that is a data folder with that raw extract from LMS and the report file. I'll enter report file and just hide myself. You can see here it's blank. I'll go into data. I'm going to say that I want to get the data. So I'll just open that list and I want it from file. And this file will be an Excel workbook. So just click on that and it will ask me, okay, from where? So I'm going to go here into my folder. So you can see this is a folder and the structure, same as I've introduced at the very beginning. And I go to data and I say that I want this report. Let's say this is a report that I'm extracting daily from LMS. I'll just mark that. We'll say import. It will open a navigator window. Here it recognizes that it's an Excel and it has a sheet 1 within it. So I'll just click on that and you have a small preview of what's inside that file. And I'm good with that. I already know it. So I'll go and load it. I'll say that I want to load it too, because a regular load would load it as a regular table here. And I don't want to do that. I'll go load to. And out of all options, the table is default. I would say that I want the last one, only create connection for now. And also I want to add this data to a data model. This will allow me later to interact with that data, similar to having a pivot table. So just click like that. I'll click OK. And it might seem that nothing changed, but you can see on the side, it says that this sheet was loaded. It's 141 rows as of now. So I'll just close that and I'm going to say I'm going to insert a pivot table. So I'll go to insert, I'll go pivot table, and instead of maybe you did it in the past from table or range, I want to insert that from a data model. So it's like an internal storage for that data. I'll just go and say that this should start in A1, so I'm good with it. And voila, it's very similar to a regular pivot table. So you can see here I have a space for pivot table and I have all of my columns here. So what I can do, let's say that I want to see a course name. I want to see a status in columns. And last one is that I want to count how many users IDs are within that. I'm going to change it because it recognizes that student ID is a number. And we know it's not, it's a unique value. It shouldn't be treated as a number. So instead of sum, I'm going to go and say count. So now you see like an overview of progress among all of those courses here, all of those different language versions. But it's not that nice. Sometimes it might be difficult to go through all of it. Imagine a scenario that you want only a German version. So normally you could add a slicer, but you could also go and filter it. So you can go with the DE and then click OK. And you have a preview of only German progress, like maybe for Germany. But you would have to go and do it every single time for every language, which is not that convenient. So I'm going to show you how to make it easier and how to create a fully functional kind of Power Pivot that will be very user-friendly. So we are here. And what we're going to do now, we need to modify a little bit of that data, but we don't want to modify it at source. We want to modify it on the flight when this data is imported into our report. So what you're going to do, you're going to go to data, again, get data, but this time, instead of selecting a file, you're going to go and select Launch Power Query Editor. I'll click on that. It will open a new window. And in that new window, you have a preview of our sheet 1. So this is the inside of that file that you have in the data folder. And you can see straight away it has this ID, the same columns as it was in the source in the raw file. What we're going to do first, you notice that it recognizes student ID as a value, as a number, and we don't want that because it will apply all the aggregation formulas like sum and others. We don't want to do that. We want to treat it as a text, as a unique identifier. So what we can do, here you can see close to the name, to the label, there are numbers. You can click on that, and you can say that instead of having it as a whole number, you want to switch to text. So click text. And because it was already modified, the system recognized it, you can change this column type in place. So in a current place or step where this change already happened, I don't want to add a new step. So I'll click replace current. So basically I will revert back to how it was. and now it's there. Next step is to work with a course name, because completion date is fine, it's recognized as dates, which is good, and status is fine, nothing to do here. What I want to do, I want to split the title of the course from that addition indicating the language version. So what can I do here? Probably you can do multiple things, but I want to show you one nice feature of Power Query. You can say, when you select the course name, you can see it is now selected. You can say that you want to add a new column. So I'll click on that. And I want to say, I want to use a very smart feature here. I want to create a column from examples. I'll click on that. And I'm going to say that not from all columns, I want from a selection. So basically from a course name column. I'll click on that. And it expects on the right hand side, you can see it created a column 1 where I can provide an example of the output that I want. And in this situation, maybe I want only capital letters that indicate a country. So I'll provide the example here, and the example is GR. And you can see it picked it up for all of the courses. And if you scroll down, you can have a look and double check if it's correct. So let's see, this row is PL. So it's fine, it applied a good rule. So I'll click OK, and I have a new column with only country indicators, like the short names of countries. And what I can do, I can just change the title. So I can go and say country. So the label country, the label for the country here. And I have a title of a course here. And now I would like to remove that. I don't need that anymore because I have this information here on the right hand side on the newly created column. So basically what you could do, you could click that and right click and then say replace values, but that would be very difficult and it can take a lot of time. So what you can do, you can say something else. You can go back to Home tab at the top and you can say that you want to split that column. So again, column is selected, I'm choosing a split column, and I'm going to say that I want it splitted by delimiter. I'll click on that. And now my delimiter is a space. You can see that there are many spaces in that phrase, but I want the last one. So I'm going to say that my delimiter is space, and this is the rightmost delimiter. So basically the last one that is here. And I'll click OK, and you can see straight away it split it, the course name and the indicator for the country or for the language. So what I can do now, I can say lang here, for example, if I want to keep it, and I can change the course name to course name again. And now we are done. Everything is modified the way we want. Maybe I can just move that column at the end. I'm going to say that I want to close and load that data. So hit that. And now you're going to see the changes, which is good. You see only 2 courses because basically this is what we are talking about. But now what you can do, you can add a country, and I'm going to add it as a slicer. So just right click, add a slicer. And now you can see that I can go country by country to see the completion rate for that specific set of courses. And I can just select all, and I can even drag the country here. So then you can see the split between language versions and the state of the completion for all of those. And this is how it works. Quite straightforward, and it's nice. But now I'm going to show you how this workflow can help you even further. Because with 2 courses, you can say it's simple. Like, you don't need that kind of sophisticated solution or even put that effort to manipulate, to transform the data. But imagine that you have like 10 courses or 20. Then it's getting easier to do it like this instead of selecting a filter and picking up the E, ES, or any other filter to be able to see whatever you want. And also, this is user friendly because if someone else is viewing your report, they can just quickly jump in. If they are responsible, for example, for PL, they can just look at PL and you can also separate that for them. So basically, this is how it works. And one additional thing that is very, very important is the fact that whenever the data changes, like imagine that tomorrow you draw another report and you want from that report, you want to see all other courses, right? That showed up. So I have this new report. What I'm going to do, imagine that this is a new report that I draw maybe tomorrow. I'll just change the name to match the name to the name that it's here already. I'll just remove the old one, fix the naming, have a look inside. So I'm going to show you what happened. You can see that there was one course added. It's called Negotiation Skills. It's here already. So now, without doing a lot of work, all I need to do is to go to Data and click Refresh All. And this course should be already here on the list. You can see it jumped in. It's a negotiation skills. All the transformations that we did for previous courses, as long as the structure of the naming convention is the same, it will be also applied here. And you have a preview of a new course. And I guess that's it. Thank you very much. And yeah, bye.